Okay, so hello, this is a different game. Now, I got a suggestion saying that I should do a live stream, and I'm gonna try my hand at that. But it seems like not everyone knows what Plague Inc. is, which is what this game is called. So, I'm gonna do a little kind of scenario, the easiest one you can possibly do, and I will show you guys basically what this is. So we're going to start off with bacteria because this is the easiest one to use. And I have already gotten like some progress in here. So just to make it a little bit easier, I will use a bunch of my genetic modifications. Basically you get these as you play the game. There's different types and they do different things. Like this one is personally my favorite, but anyway, there's like different sections and they each do something different. Now we're gonna do casual just so that these will be like a quick play, you know. And there's different settings. I usually play on normal or brutal, depending on how difficult I want it to be. And it's basically just like easy, medium, hard, and then this is like ultra hard. Like this is an insane mode. Like I think I've only beaten Mega Brutal once, and that was like sure dumb luck. Yeah. So now we'll start with casual, and you can name your viruses anything. Just for example, like I do silly names, so we'll go Megador. There we go. It's called Megador. Okay, you are a new bacteria. To win, you must evolve and spread across the world, wiping out all humanity in the ultimate plague. Select the country to begin your plague. When you click on it, you can see more information, pop the bubble to start and confirm, or click another city. Now, you can start anywhere. You can start in China, the States, you know, anywhere in Brazil, and stuff like that, in South America. And you can even start, like, basically any country you can start in. I personally like to start in Russia. So, we'll get started. Now, this is like the bio bubble, and you basically break them in order to get DNA points. And you want to get more DNA points quickly so you can come in here, and this is basically tells you how, like, this is all your stats and stuff like that. You don't really need to pay attention to this. This isn't anything important. I usually just ignore this. Like, this is just like the general information of how fast you infect, how fast you kill, and stuff like that, but it doesn't make any difference. This, however, is the transition traits. So you can spread it by animal, like by livestock, you know, like cows and sheep and chicken and stuff like that. This is like by blood, you know, for like needles and stuff like that, you know, and blood to blood contact. You can spread it by mosquitoes and also rodents and birds. I don't usually bring those up in case I need like an extra boost of infective, but the only thing you really need is the airborne and the water. I start with the airborne because this allows you to go through filters on planes, because they will add filters on the planes in order to try to stop the spread. I'm actually gonna, hold on a sec, I'm gonna see if I can turn down the volume a bit. This is loud, it's even loud for me. Yeah, let's turn it down a bit. There we go. But yeah, so this one is for like boats and stuff. Now, this is really important. Your symptoms. generally you want to try and avoid stuff like insomnia and like aneurysms and stuff like that. You know, you get farther down and they get more critical. Basically, you just want stuff to, like, I usually do coughing, and then I continue down like the sneezing and stuff like that. And I also do nausea when I start, because you want to start off with more effective things. You don't want things that will prevent people from going out and infecting people. So yeah, that's the best way to start off is with the coughing. Now, this is the abilities of your bacteria. This allows your bacteria to get a shell in all. Like, basically all this means is that it stands against climates more, you know, so if you wanted a better chance of being in, say, Africa where it's really hot, this would be a good one. But you could also use these. Heat resistance and cold resistance. And then right here is thermal resistance, which is both of these combined. It's like tier 3. Now, this is another thing that's really important. Upgrade these whenever you possibly can, because this is your drug resistance, and then you also have genetics. So this thing goes across like that. It basically makes it harder for people to cure your disease, which you do not want them to do. So let's hop into Russia, and you can find like information about all the stuff just by clicking on it. You know, there's 6 people are infected right now, and that will spread. And there's a way, like right here, you can pause the setting. You play normal speed. You can go ×2 or ×3. I recommend when you first start off to go to ×3, just because it makes it go faster. And then once you get like partway, like once you start getting more and more, you know, spreading and stuff like that, go down to ×2. But the normal speed is just way too slow. It really doesn't go long. So here, what we'll do is we'll bring up some symptoms. Bring up coughing. You can have sneezing or pneumonia. I don't do pneumonia because people can actually die from that. And you don't want them to start dying yet. So the next thing that we'll go for is fever. And we won't do this one either because it can be fatal. So you don't want to do anything that can be fatal right away. But we'll start off with a rash too, and we'll do sweating because that also increases how fast it spreads. And it can be a bit boring when it first starts out because there's not really much going on, but also these news things are really funny. Like, oh, we already got, you can see here we got France, because the red lines indicate something being spread. So the red lines are planes carrying the disease, and in the wild soon you'll see like red dotted lines. Those are them being traveled on boats. So we've actually got a lot of DNA points. You can tell down here, DNA points. These are what you use to get everything to go through. So what we'll do is we'll do that. We'll bring up the resistance, and we'll also bring up the drug resistance. Now, there's also genetic hardening, and it makes it harder to study it, meaning it doesn't last very long in the lab. And then after this one, there's genetic, and it basically just means that it's passed down in your genetics. And it is actually really helpful, you know? Like, it's a good thing to do, because once they start trying to cure this thing, it'll be down here. Once they start trying to cure it, you can go from like 0% or like 5% all the way up to like 85% within a matter of seconds. It is insane how fast that thing can go up. And as you can see down here, this red like this red part here, like eventually the screen down there will crack and it will basically be like a wasteland. And that basically just means that Russia is falling. Like the government's falling and everything like that. It's getting more and more infected. Like everyone's infected and it's basically hell on earth there. So yeah, let's get these up. And this is like, I never really do this. This is just like the 3rd tier, but you don't need that. You really don't. So we'll continue. And these ones are the ones that you use to start killing. And right here is organ failure. And that's how basically how you just kill people. But like I said, you don't want to start doing that until you have until you have most of the countries infected, because you want to avoid people dying faster than they're being infected. Because if they die faster than them being infected, then you're not covering the city, like you're not covering the country, and it will basically allow them to cure it faster because there'll be more healthy people than sick people. Yeah. As you can see, like there's a whole bunch of like red dotted lines going all around like this, and that's the boats. Now, let's bring up this. See, this is the genetic. Basically means that it's a genetically developed, and it will take more for them to cure it because they have to keep in mind that it is passed on through genes, which can actually be quite difficult to cure. Okay, now we have everything that we need for the infections, so what we'll do is we'll wait for, we'll involve that just to give it a little bit more defense. Yeah, we'll go through and like wait until more and more people get infected, and then we'll go. And as you can see down in the corner here, the cure has started, and we only have two healthy cities left, like 2 healthy countries left, but that won't last very long. And over here you can see all the stats for the cure. It's approximately gonna be available in 1 year and 53 days, but that will change. I guarantee you, like, it can be at 5% now, and then like within a matter of like 5 seconds it can be straight to like 65% done, and it goes insane. And right now it looks like France, Ukraine, and Finland are the leading cure people, which isn't surprising, but you know, there we go. Okay, so looks like, oh no, Morocco's done. Okay, so there's no healthy places in the entire world. Every place has been infected. And pretty soon, like, all the lights start flashing, like all these little things here start flashing red when the entire place is infected. Like, once they get past the 50% mark of infection, they start flashing. And then once it gets to, like, once you start killing the people, it goes straight up, and it just decimates the entire thing. So, since everyone is infected pretty much, there's not many healthy people left as far as I can tell. Actually, no, there's no healthy people, so let's start killing people off. Yeah, see? Like, every place is starting to fall apart and go into shambles. And I think it's, like, I like watching the little death places. Okay, now the blue bubbles will start to appear. You gotta pop them, or else they will. This basically just makes it so they can't find the cure quite as fast. Doesn't make much of a difference, but you will have an issue if you leave them up. So if you see the red bubbles, like, so you smash the red bubbles to get the DNA, and you splash blue bubbles in order to try and prevent the cure somewhat. It's not like a guaranteed stop, but yeah. Our goal though is total organ failure, which will decimate the entire country. Like all of the countries, destroy everything, everyone will die. And that's basically what you want. The whole idea of this is to destroy the world. And there is one scenario, and it's called I think like Sentence Without a Helper or something like that. And basically your job is to, rather than spreading a deadly disease that like destroys mankind, your goal is to spread happiness and joy because the world has been shut down and no fun is allowed. But yeah, it's a pretty straightforward game, but it can be really difficult. Like, I mean really difficult. Almost. We need 38. There we go. And people should start dying pretty quickly. Yeah. And if you look down here, you can see a lot of the screens are cracked. Like here, Russia. It's all cracked and everything's like all destroyed and stuff. Canada too. That's actually Toronto. Downtown Toronto. At least it's supposed to be. Don't know how dated it is. Well, we got Stalker's Delight. I think that's, yeah. Amnesia and a whole bunch of other stuff. Yeah, let's also add Coma to that just because. And just watch. Check this out, the number's going down so slowly. Everyone is almost dead. There's only like, yeah. They have no chance. 1 million, couple thousand, 100,000, there we go. Oh, we're down. Oh, there we go. Victory! You have successfully eliminated all life on Earth. That wasn't, not the best gameplay. Did take quite a while though. But, yeah, so you can basically watch from start to finish. It started out really slow in Russia, but then it's just kind of, it spread to other countries pretty quickly, but then again, that's also because we're on casual. It spreads quicker on casual, and basically sick people are like, I'm sick, give me a hug, I will sneeze on your face. So, if you're just starting out, or you're not very familiar with the game, or you don't really want it to last that long, I do suggest casual. But if you want a challenge, or you want like a lengthy gameplay or something like that, and you want to try to get your hands dirty, I guess, then I do suggest normal or brutal. Brutal is really hard though, and unless you have like really good, like unless you have the genetics and stuff like that, like good ones of these, you won't be able to do very well. That's actually better. See, this one spreads better by land, but this spreads better by air, which is really good. But anyway, I'll quickly show you some of the scenarios. Gee, there's like Mad Cow. Here, Santa's Little Helper. The world is dark and gloomy. Boring governments worldwide have banned holidays, laughter, and celebrations. Humanity has forgotten how to have fun. People dress in gray and spend all their time working. Luckily, the Nexus Worm has teamed up with Santa and is determined to infect the world with joy and happiness. Can Santa's Little Helper make a miracle happen? That's a really fun one to do. I like that one. And there's a whole bunch of other ones. There's like one for the Black Plague. There's like the Ice Age. You know, there's a Pirate Plague. That one's kind of interesting. I'm not very good at it though. I also there's another one here that I really like. I'm not sure if it's in the listing here, but it's called the Shadow Plague. And basically, you just go through and you what is it, you, I think it's spreading vampires. I think that's what it is. I think it's like you spread a vampiric plague or something like that. But yeah, that's the basic idea of this. And there's like a bunch of other fun stuff you can do. Like here, I've got fungus, and then the Nextra Worm. This is like the actual one, not the Santa's Helper. But yeah, and then you also got like Parasite, you got Pyron, you got Necro, you got like, Namo. Here, this is it, the Shadow Plague. See? Triggers a powerful thirst for blood. And then this one is based off the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Yeah. This one is my favorite one. The bioweapon. I don't know, it just makes it more fun, because like it spreads like a madman, you know? It goes insane. Yeah. I currently need to beat fungus. I keep messing up and not doing it properly, and then I end up getting owned, and the cure comes, and I have like only a couple thousand people left to be infected, and it's just but anyway, this wasn't a very long thing. It was just kind of a little tidbit thing to show you how this game works. And I think it's about $10, either 10 or 16 on Steam, and that's Canadian, so I don't really know how much it would be for you, but I do recommend, if you have enough to get it and you do like this kind of game, you should get it, because it's a really fun game, and it comes with everything. There's no additional purchases. You know, like you can buy like merch and stuff like that, but it's pretty much what you pay for is what you get, you know? And it comes with all of the scenarios. You know, you can customize your own scenario too if you want. You know, like there's a whole bunch of like all these custom ones, stuff like that, you know, and you can make a new one yourself and all of that. You can like edit them, make your own, stuff like that. You can play ones that other people have done, and these are all free. So you have access to all of them. You know, you can click and be like, oh, okay, I want to play 7 Deadly Sins. You can go ahead and play that right away, you know. It's like, oh, I want to play this one. You know, you can go ahead and play it. You know, you can play this one. And basically, there isn't additional things like, oh, you know, if you pay $5, you'll get this, you know. There's no, like, pay to play kind of thing, if that makes sense. So, I highly suggest this game. It's really fun, and it is really addicting. You can also get it on mobile. I have it on my phone. I'm actually farther on my phone than I am on here. I think I'm at, I can't remember how far I am on my phone, but yeah. Anyway, this is a really fun game, and I think like this is probably gonna do like a live stream of this, you know, in a couple of scenarios with you guys. And yeah, Anyway, with that said though, since it is technically still Christmas, for like another 15 minutes, Merry Christmas, guys. I hope you had a great day, and I hope you got a bunch of awesome presents, and I hope you had fun, and I hope it turns out really good, and I hope you guys have a great new year as well. So, yeah, bye!